Tuesday. I'm on my way to work. It feels like I haven't been there in a month, but it's literally only been a weekend. Last weekend was the grand opening to the public, and I was in Massachusetts. I was away on personal business, so I missed the grand opening. So I have a lot to catch up on, and I'm like, that's how I feel. So I'm back at it full time. It's kind of weird though, I'm back at it full time, and then Governor Cuomo I think he just shut New York City down for dine-in, so who knows? I'm considered the Finger Lakes region, so I don't know. But why does life have to be so crazy, you guys? Like, why? There's a lot of people that have crossed my path that say things like I'm negative or I'm being a bitch or whatever because I express my sovereignty. So people that live in fear will attack you when you express your sovereignty. They're so brainwashed that they only respond with what they were taught, what they were brainwashed to respond with. It's kind of like a telemarketer when you apply for a telemarketing job and they give you the script to read from. That's exactly what the brainwashed sheep are doing to the people that are woke. The brainwashed sheep are making the woke people look like we are the reason why this pandemic is not getting any better. The sheep people that are sleeping look at the people that are woke like we're crazy, like we're the reason why society is the way it is. Because we refuse to take a knee. We refuse to bow our heads. We refuse to put the muzzle on to shut our asses up. So whatever, I guess that I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch for expressing my sovereignty, and I refuse to be a slave. I refuse to be silenced. I refuse to be complacent. I refuse to bow down. If I can't go into a place, okay, like here in Western New York where I live, every time I turn the music down, it seems like it gets louder. I could pretty much go anywhere I want right now where I live without a mask on, and I express my sovereignty. In Western New York, it's not mandatory to wear a mask. Like maybe in New York City it is, I don't know. I mean, even if it was, I won't. But when I was in Massachusetts, we couldn't go anywhere inside of an establishment. I guess their governor made it mandatory. While I was outside, I didn't wear a mask, but I didn't go anywhere. If you didn't let me into your establishment, I didn't go. Well, that's a lie. We did all go out to eat. And for the sake of, being with my husband and the family and everybody, I put the mask on to go sit at my table, and then I took my mask off. But if it's forced on me, then it's not a place for me as a light worker. And it's kind of weird because, or not kind of weird, but it's kind of cool that Magenta Pixie was just doing a video and she mentioned this, and I was like, yes, she touched base on this. We have to do what we got to do to survive and to be out here. If I can't go to the grocery store because they want to force hand sanitizer in my hands and force me to wear a mask, then I guess I'm not going into that store. If I have to order my food online to pick it up, I guess that's what I'm going to have to do. We have to find a way around all of this. And if businesses are going to act like sheep and comply, we need to help them wake up, or we don't give them our service. We don't go to their establishments. Again, where I live, like I go to the Walmart here, I go to Tops, I go to Wegmans, and nobody forces me to wear a mask. Nobody sanitizes me. They don't say anything. I get dirty looks, but I don't even give a shit. I don't care. Like, you can look at me sideways, roll your eyes, do what you want. The sleeping people are convinced that we are being inconsiderate by not wearing our mask. Why should I wear a mask? I mean, I'm not sick. If you're afraid, then stay home. I shouldn't have to live in fear because you're afraid. Okay, we're living in these strange times, and it's a war that's going on. It truly is. I'm not saying that the illness, there's Popo hiding in the cut, so I'll make sure I wasn't speeding. It's actually a state trooper. Don't want to get pulled over by him. Their tickets are expensive. If you don't stand up for yourself, it's going to get to a point where all of your rights are going to get taken away. And I just don't understand why people can't see that. And it's so frustrating that they can't see it. And I'm manifesting a timeline where this coronavirus isn't affecting me. And so far I'm doing a pretty good job, because where I live in New York, it's not mandatory for me to wear a mask. However, at my job, they don't make me wear a mask. The owners feel the same way about masking, but to be able to open up for dining, they have to follow regulations. I refuse to wear a mask, so they bought shields. I'm okay with wearing a shield. Then I look at the shield as I'm blocking out the negative bullshit, I guess. But you know, for the sanity of the company, I will wear a shield, but I will not wear a mask. I will not be muzzled. The shield, I don't know. I guess it's the way you look at it, perspective, or whatever I need to tell myself that, you know, so I can stay there. But the moment they tell me I need to put a mask on, then I'm out the door. Again, I'm not saying that the virus is not real. There is a virus out there. There's always viruses out there. I have a friend in the freestyle industry that apparently has COVID-19, and he had a fever, had the cough, was really sick, went to the hospital, sent him home the same night. He ended up back at the hospital on the ventilator that was just in the nose, and then rapidly declined the next day, where they had to sedate him and put something, ventilator down his throat. They confirmed with his wife that he has viral pneumonia, so he's untreatable at this point. Can't give him anything, as the doctors are telling his wife. But I guess the doctors are doing everything within their power to save his life. I just found out that his lungs were filling up. He's also a diabetic. His lungs are filling up with liquid, and so they had to move him to his stomach to, I guess, relieve that. I don't know, so he doesn't inhale the liquid, I guess. So being on your stomach, I don't know, it kind of makes sense. The visual to me makes sense. But then they talked about some sort of treatment. There's a short-term word for it. I forgot what it's called, but you do surgery, and instead of your heart and lungs breathing for you, you go through this surgery and you breathe through your skin or something, and it oxygenates your blood. So he went through that surgery, he came out successful, and he's improving slowly, very, very, very slowly, but there is a sign of improvement. So the virus is real. How you get it, I don't know. I'm convinced that I don't get sick. I won't get sick. I truly and honestly and utterly believe that I cannot get sick. Not to say that I won't catch a cold or I won't get a sinus infection, because I did just have one. Not to say that my ears won't get clogged. I have ear issues. I have issues with my body, but words are important. Words are spells. How you talk about yourself, what you say. You have to be very mindful, and it's not easy to be mindful. It's not easy to retrain your mind to speak and think differently. Something I've been working on is speaking and thinking differently and being aware. So part of that awareness is me telling myself my immune system is strong enough to fight off anything. Not to say that I won't get a virus. I may get a virus, or I may not. But my immune system is armed where it will be able to fight and kick that virus's ass. It seems like the media, what I've heard, because again, I don't really watch the news, but what is related back to me or what I read on social media is that the CV tends to attack older people and people that have an underlying condition like diabetes, heart disease, stuff like that. I don't know how true it is, but my friend that's in the hospital is a diabetic. So his recovery, trying to save his life, is a little harder because his, diabetes messes with everything. So he's having some kidney problems. He's having problems with his numbers spiking up high. So they're having an issue elevating it, which will ultimately affect your heart and have high blood pressure and yada, yada, yada. So it's important, man, to just, I don't know. I think the low dimensional beings have been planning this for a very long time. And, they started doing it with our food, and by, selling and offering us shit food, GMO, poison stuff that's no good for our body, sugar, and just things that are just no good. They had to break down our firewall, our immune system. They had to break it down so that they can infect us. And, just look at how people used to be back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. As we enter into the 80s, going into the 90s, that's when obesity started to hit because McDonald's and Wendy's and Arby's and getting internet and pushing and sharing those videos on how to make like donut burgers and shit that's really just no good for you. So it's all been part of the plan. Break down the immune system. Once your immune system is broken down, you can be infected with anything. You can be infected with anything bacterial or viral. So it's really important just to really focus on your immune system, your gut health, the way you think, the way you speak, and just take care of yourself, man. Just take care of yourself. Because once you're sick, it's going to be really hard to heal from that. But going back to the masks and all that stuff and being forced to comply, you guys, it's going to get to a point where you're going to be driving down the road and you're going to pass Popo like I did. He's going to pull your ass over because you're not wearing a mask in your own damn car as you're driving to work. So it's really important just to, declare your sovereignty. I did a video on this, and I really think that you should declare your sovereignty. Stand in your truth, and just prepare yourself. We're heading into some craziness, you guys. I have this feeling swirling around in my tummy again, like I did back in 2019 when I said something huge is going to happen in March, and then boom, the coronavirus hit. I am having that feeling again. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's something big is going to happen. There's a lot of talk about this John F. Kennedy Jr. I feel like I took a step back into time. But, you know, they always say people are alive. The Elvis never died, Michael Jackson never died, John F. Kennedy never died, Marilyn Monroe never died. Like, they just don't let people die. Like, let people just die. And stop saying they're alive. If they're dead, they're dead. If they're alive, there's a reason why they're saying they're dead. They're safety reasons, I guess. But I don't know. Something big's gonna happen. This whole thing with John F. Kennedy, I don't know what the connection is, but, or John F. Kennedy Jr., I don't know what the connection is, but there's something about John F. Kennedy Jr. There's something about the planet. I don't know. We're teetering. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to create fear, but I'm still receiving information. It's a lot going on. While I was away in Massachusetts, I had a beautiful channeling. So my husband's brother has cancer, and they gave him a little bit of time. So we went down to visit him and, you know, show him some love. And man, the whole trip down there, I was like in and out of consciousness, like driving. And I just was like, I thought it was just because I woke up early and we got on the road, but like I couldn't keep my eyes open. Then when we got to Massachusetts, I had the worst migraine ever. I just was not good company to be around. Finally, when I get back to the hotel, I slept, no lie, like 12 hours straight. And I had a channeling. My husband's brother, his father came through to me, his uncle came through to me, and the angel of death came through to me. Apparently we all have our own angel of death that meets us as we cross over to the other side. Our angel of death is always with us, trying to help heal us and guide us, but she's also there when we're ready to do the crossover. And she gave me a message to give, and the father and the brother gave me, or the father and the uncle gave me a message to give, which I'm not gonna share it, but I'll tell you that much. And so the next day, I didn't know how he would receive the information, because, you know, when you are given a certain amount of time to live because of a fatal disease, like, and you didn't ask for a channeling, it's kind of hard for me to just approach you, because I don't know how you're going to receive me. I don't know what, I know what his faith was. He didn't have any. And I knew that because his father told me, the death angel told me. So I approached his other brother and asked him, how do you think he'll receive me? I also asked my husband, how do you think he'll receive me? And they're brother, they're not blood brothers, but they've known each other for over 30 years. So I asked the one brother that is his blood brother, how would he receive me, and if he can confirm if his father was still alive. And his father was not alive. And then I asked if he had an uncle that recently passed, and he confirmed yes. And then he asked me why, and I told him the channeling before I told the brother, and he's just started crying. And then he called his brother over, and then my husband came over, and they both listened to my channeling information, and I don't know, it was beautiful. But anyways, having that experience with with the death angel changed me in some way. I can see life around me in a whole different way. Like, she lifted me into this frequency, and she didn't have a name, by the way. Her name was like sounds, like noises, like pitchy noises, sounds. And I wasn't in her realm. She wasn't in my realm either, but I was lifted to this place where we both can communicate. And it took everything out of me physically. Very tired, very bad headache, and I needed to recuperate from that. Like, it took everything out of me. It was really, really hard to come back from that. But when I came back from it, when I woke up the next day, little by little, I'm getting this energy back into my body that I felt when I was in my 20s. Also, I'm seeing life around me. I'm seeing life around me happen. Like, I'm watching it, and people are just living this crazy, hectic life, and I'm observing. And everything is slow for me, but everything's sped up for them. I'm seeing people, before they even talk to me, I know what their intentions are. I know what's going on in their life. I have like I can read a piece of their DNA or something. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. Something happened to me when I did that channeling, and it changed me. I feel calmer. I don't feel as triggered, even though I did put together that Pennywise yesterday, and I couldn't get his arm to go into the hole, and it just was like, God damn it, Pennywise, your freaking arm. And that pissed me off. But other than that, I haven't really been triggered with anything. It's just like, eh. And things that do trigger me quick like that, it comes to my awareness, like, what was it? What is the reason behind being triggered? Something else started to arise. Something about my job title came up, and I don't know why it triggered me. So I sat in that energy, and it was like I was having a conversation with my higher self, but in my head, not like thinking, but like a real conversation. And it was like my higher self was counseling me on how to figure out why I was being triggered. Believe it or not, I used to struggle with figuring out why certain things triggered me, and I didn't see another cause of why something would trigger me. And then now my higher self is showing me different, scenarios, perspectives, reasons, and walking me through the steps, and I'm like, oh, I get it. So apparently I struggle with power, and I didn't even really know that. So when I feel like my power is being threatened and I'm not in control of a situation, that's a trigger for me. But now that I recognize that, I don't want to have power, because I don't want to have power over anybody. I'm a manager. I run this whole place here. There's 3 entities to this place: the marina, the restaurant, and lodging. And I'm the front of the house manager. I'm in the marina managing, taking care of things, just making sure things run smoothly during, through this whole building. And what comes with that is managing people. I'm not a bossy manager. At least I don't feel like I am. I'm more of like a jump in, I'm a team player. But if I need to be bossy, not even bossy, but if I need to do something that requires me to be bossy, my bossy comes out, I guess. But yeah, so I guess I struggle with losing power, and it's not even just with my job, it's with life in general. So now that I recognize that, I feel at peace. Like there's this peaceful feeling right here across my chest. It's like that's how I feel, like I can breathe. And I feel a more clear communication coming through. I don't know, I just feel happier. and lighter. And I'm starting to recognize everything around me, like plants and trees and animals and bugs. Like, I know they all have a consciousness, but I'm connecting with them. And I've always connected with my plants and stuff like that. But the connection is just a little different, it's deeper. It's more of an understanding. And I don't know, something changed me with that channeling. I really just can't tell you exactly what it was, other than I think I shifted frequencies, and I'm at a different level of, my awakening. So anyways, I know there's so many things I want to talk to you guys about, but I get so caught up at home. I know I still wanted to talk to you guys about the whole dementia thing. I still want to do a question Q&A with you guys. I want to circle back and talk about death and it not being the end. I did a video on that, but I want to revisit that because of this experience I had with the death angel. But there's just so much I could do in such a short period of time, and I'm here at work and I have to walk in there now. But just stay tuned. There's so many things I want to talk to you guys about, and I'll get there eventually. So for the Q&A, I think I will pre-plan that so everybody can join in, because I know the last couple times I've went live, people are like, oh man, I didn't know you were on. So I'm gonna have to do that little calendar thing that some of the YouTubers do when they're about to go live, and they plan it so people will know. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I just wanted to, pop on. I did an intuition exercise for you guys this morning. I just wanted to talk to somebody on my way to work. So I'm talking to all of you, and now I'm here, and I have to go. So you guys enjoy your day. Plus I'm turning red. I turned the air off in the car and it's fucking hot. So I love you guys. Many blessings. Stay safe, stay hydrated, take care of your immune system. Stay positive. Don't get caught up in this whole agenda. I know it's scary. I've teetered back and forth. It's scary. It's hard to stay positive. It's hard to stand in your truth. Just try your hardest. And if you feel at any point that you're losing it, revisit my channel, watch some of my videos, go check out Magenta Pixie, go check out Laura Eisenhower, go check out Soothe the Glitch. There's so many of us that have that use this YouTube platform, and the people that I named are some of the people that are holding a high vibration, and they're literally talking about everything that is happening right now, and they're here to remind you that you are divine, and have no fear. I love you guys. Be safe.